So good morning and thank you for coming today. Today's roundtable discussion is going to be about the value of performance and how we are going to see the changes that are coming into the industry. So a question for you all, but starting with you first, I think, Mal, what do you think's good about performance?
I think the thing that puts it apart from all other channels is the entrepreneurial nature of the people that are involved. I mean, fundamentally, if all these people are commission-only salespeople, they know that they're not going to make any money unless they do something that is better than somebody else, more than someone else, different, ahead of the game, etc. So in terms of everything that affiliates do before standard media channels even notice it's on the radar, absolutely puts them ahead of the game.
Well, you're a client and a very big client in this space. What's your view on professionalism and such like with the entrepreneurial drivers of performance?
I think we're very entrepreneurial, but I think professionalism has definitely come over the last few years. I think there's definitely a stigma with the affiliate industry, and I think the passion there is to make sure that that stigma goes away and that we are treated, I guess, with the respect of other more traditional industries.
Kevin, you're a client and you've been around for a little while. What are your views around the whole area of professionalism in the performance space?
I think what I love about it is the accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that it's very highly measurable, it's highly accountable, it's very easy to spot trends.
Julia, you've been in around the affiliate space since the beginning of your career. What's your view around the evolution of professionalism in the sector?
I think that people have been right to point out that it has grown up to an extent over the last few years, but I think what I'm always quite hesitant about when this debate comes up is we almost seem to be sort of propagating our own myth that there is some question over that professionalism. I think that USwitch, Nectar, many of the other companies that are here as publishers have board level attention at very large advertisers and are part of major company strategies. I mean, I'm sure that you guys, the same as us, the same as Quidco or any other big publisher, do things like inform product strategy, consult on offers, and that isn't just the companies that have got 40 or 50 people, but going down to smaller as well, I think.
Well, David, you're an entrepreneur in this space. What are your views on the future evolution of performance?
Well, you're absolutely right, and I am sort of heavily entrenched in the digital world from an entrepreneurial perspective, and I'm intrigued that entrepreneurialism has sort of come to the centre of the debate in many ways. You find entrepreneurs are prepared to take risks, bring new technologies into the performance space, but I think that's been good because, let's face it, the performance model, the very nature of it is commensurate with the sort of economic constraints that exist in the economy today. And in a way, if you're going to try and achieve more with the same resources as somebody else, then eat what you kill is a philosophy that's central to an entrepreneur's DNA.
Very good point. John, in terms of the IAB's position, what do you see, looking into your crystal ball, the future and the impact of professionalism on performance?
At the IAB, the last thing we want to do is stifle innovation. The market needs to, in some respects, work out for itself what's going to work and what's not going to work. But at the same time, we really want to create standards, consistency, and make it easy for brand. It's a really tricky line to tread, but I don't think that's specific to affiliate. I think that's across all display channels as well. That there's the same challenges exist.
Does that raise a question, as you said there, John, about how these are issues that all channels actually face? Where does performance sit in the mix? Is it actually a separate entity, or is it the entire piece? Is it all about performance? What are your views on that?
I think if it is separate, I think that's where the issues come into it. I think if it's not part of the overall marketing mix, it's never going to be treated in the same way. It isn't part of the full understanding from when you first have that idea to grow into a different channel.
To be honest, this is absolutely about all digital marketing. It's brilliant being accountable, but the other side of accountability is trackability, and there's always some stuff you're not going to track. But there are certain things like the performance channel which suffer in things like that, because effectively if you're looking at the impact of TBRs, you can have a massive impact from telly, but the impact from a few really excellent entrepreneurial affiliates is going to get lost amongst that impact of this enormous offline media. So the affiliate part is such a small sector of it that it ends up that you can't pick it up, therefore it doesn't have that extra value that we know intuitively it probably does. The content affiliates and the ones that are really adding value absolutely cause a brilliant impact further down the line, but if it can't be tracked because it's in the shop, then we can't persuade the client to spend more money on it because there's no proof.
But
So
I
it's-
think you highlight the difficulty and confusion around affiliates sometimes, and it can be hard to segment data, but I think it also emphasises the need to segment as much as possible.
Well, I think one of the ways that we're approaching the problem that you outlined was attribution is a nightmare because of multi-device browsing, and it makes it very difficult to actually physically link that cease of spend to that click, to that click, to that click, to a purchase of that pen. But one of the things we've been doing is modelling spend in a very small specific category. So let's say we increase promotion just on, we give them a big promotion on grey pens. We don't necessarily see the spend coming through, the bookings coming through there, but we see them coming through on brand keywords, on director side bookings, that kind of thing. If you spend the right amounts in the right way, you can actually say, well, we did that, we saw that effect coming through there, therefore we're fairly comfortable and I can persuade my board to invest more money there.
Yes, I agree. But on the other hand, why are we still where we are, which is 15 to 20% of the online marketing spend? What happens if a client comes to us and says, I've got 2 million. I need to get rid of that. Can you spend this 2 million? Can you spend it in the next 4 weeks?
I think it isn't just a CPA model anymore. I think you have got sponsorship, you've got a rate card. There's other ways that you can spend that money.
But we do have clients who'll come to us and say, we're slightly under target, end of the quarter, can you go and spend X, Y, Z so that we've got our full budget and we need to hit X, Y, Z sales. That does happen, I think.
But that is where I think the networks themselves are undervalued. A merchant, if you want to talk about professionalism in the industry, I wouldn't necessarily call it professionalism, but I'd say in terms of efficiency, a merchant doesn't necessarily engage with the network deeply enough. So if a merchant gets in with the network and says, how do I drive this sale, this product, how do I build repeat sale with these types of customers, and the networks have the ability to create and craft deep and multi-level campaigns.
Fundamentally though, performance marketing and search and all the things that are end of the funnel are demand harvesters, not creators. So there's something that stimulates that search and that need, so the media or it's telly or it's whatever it kind of might be. So you absolutely have to have the telly and the other stuff that's going on.
Because when you spend the money in affiliate, you're only getting a generalist sales strategy.
I would actually completely disagree with that.
Okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
So I think looking at performance marketing as a demand harvesting function is a very, very narrow view that potentially is a few years ago may have been more true than it is now. I think affiliates and the performance model is much more about being able to generate consumer interest to come to a particular brand and creating that function for the brand. So for example, if you looked at something like the fact that some of the large affiliates now have their own TV ads, so they're actually creating interest before any kind of shopping behaviour was going on. Or with something like USwitch, one of our really big focuses at the moment is being able to then communicate with them in such a way to help recommend additional products to them, means that we're creating demand for the brands by being able to interact with customers in that way. I don't know if there's anything that you would add to that, Maureen.
Yeah, it's just not underestimating how much data a lot of these publishers have. So we can do a lot of this in terms of harvesting interest. We just don't actually get thought of in that funnel, but we can tell a lot from the customer data now.
And obviously, that leads on to another question, which is, should we be doing more as an industry to pool this data? And actually use it right across the piece. What are your views on that, Christian?
I fully agree on that. Looking at the data we do have in the industry, in silos right now, we as a network, several of you as our clients, but have we ever made the effort to really pool that data to a more intelligent, more powerful, kind of data asset?
Exactly. I think it's a hugely valid point, and data is everything. It does drive every decision. You've got to know what you're shooting for. I think it's huge. I think one thing that's just been established here, though, is we talked about affiliate marketing. Clearly, affiliate marketing isn't just affiliates driving a bit of traffic with a few banners. It's sophistication. Over there is profiling and understanding what the demand is in a marketplace, feeding that back to merchants. It's analysing customer behaviour and spend and the frequency of purchase. So I think anyone who looks at the affiliate channel as simply driving some traffic or pay your commission is missing the whole point about affiliate marketing, and that's probably why the debates are so interesting these days on affiliate marketing, because we realise it's evolving, it's changing, and the core of that is the data that's behind it.
But I think there's two key things that are happening here. And one is that message isn't being heard necessarily at C-suites, and how do we address that? And also is that message being heard by people, to the talent that we need to attract to this sector? I mean, what are people's views about the communication of the sector to both clients, as in C-suite clients, and also talent?
I've got a position open at the moment for someone to manage a couple of our performance channels, Affiliate and Meta, and at least 75% of the people coming for that role are from affiliate networks. So the reasons they're saying is they want to expand their careers beyond one channel.
But Kevin, due to the sort of generous nature of affiliate marketing, there is a natural transience amongst affiliate networks and their staff, because where do they go to within the network? The career progression is difficult to say, but if the affiliate marketing industry matures and does become more consultative and more segmented in this type of behaviour, then there will be massive career progression.
I see you nodding there, Christian. There's a network.
Yeah, I fully agree, because that's where I came from with the professionalization piece. We haven't really professionalized internally. Do we have a very clear career path, and what is the natural exit point for you? Yeah, where do you go to without hurting the company? But then we come to the next point, probably, it's do we have the right talent so far attracted to the industry?
Again, we're talking about performance, and I don't think it's about professionalism. I think it's about ignorance. I think there's a lot of ignorance in this space between amongst clients and amongst agencies as to what exactly is it that performance can deliver for me, because I don't think it is promoting itself effectively at the moment. However, I do believe our colleagues at the IAB are about to change all that with the launch of the PwC performance marketing evaluation piece that's coming out in January.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that's going to make a huge difference?
I think it will, yeah. I mean, I sort of look at the impact doing a similar study you had in online. It has a massive galvanising impact for the industry. What it will do is make people realise it's a much bigger industry than they thought. So I think it can only help in increasing the size of the industry, showing how big it is, making people think differently about it, which will hopefully help in all of the areas that you've talked about today.
Yeah, and I think I'm very hopeful that we will have a joined up communication strategy that will get the message out to the market about the results, because I think that this is a great opportunity for the industry, and I think it will be something that will actually open a lot of client doors and get performance on the actual agenda as a major investment and part of the advertising mix. Okay, well, I would like to thank you all very, very much for your time this morning and for your contributions. So thank you very, very much, and let's all go get a cake, shall we?
Thank you.
Thanks.